Morning. Just gotta make sure my video's on here. I think it is. That's awesome. Technology, right? Good morning, good morning. Happy, what is it, Wednesday? It feels like Monday because I took a little vacation. So I'm so happy to be back and I missed you guys. I missed being able to connect with you in the comments. I missed being able to connect with you in Messenger. Some of you message me instead of commenting, which I love. I love being able to connect with you and hear how you are growing and hear how you are making change in your life and able to really thrive. So some of you are doing such a good job at that. And it makes my heart feel so filled. So thank you for sharing with me your wins and your growth because that makes me know why I'm doing what I'm doing. So anyway, today's topic is let this in from others. It's crucial. All right. First things first, though, if you're new around here, hi. Welcome. My name is Andrea Oram. I am a music teacher. I help people with vocal health and vocal confidence, help people who are already musicians learn to be able to use their skills to actually school groups and choirs and church choirs and other things like that that you've always wanted to do, but you've never really known how to make all that happen and the logistics and the planning and all those things. I coach people in that area too. So it's super fun and I have a blast. So today we're going to talk about something that is pertinent to us, and whether you're a vocalist or not. And that is to let this specific thing in from others and how crucial it is. And you have to really wisely who that others is. I'll explain in a second, but here's what this is if you want to know about that. So let compliments, also critique, in from others. It's crucial to have feedback on how we are learning and how we are growing, right? You just have to choose very wisely who that others is. It's not just anybody. It's not just, your random person off the street. It's not just some random friend on Facebook. You have to choose very wisely who you let compliments and critique in from. And here's why I say that and why it's both compliments and critique. Critique is where, your weaknesses are, where you want to grow, where you want to improve yourself. Compliments are where you are doing well, where you're thriving. But if you let compliments in from just anybody, you run the risk of having a false sense of accomplishment or a false sense of where you are actually doing well. So let's say I am singing somewhere and someone tells me, oh, you're doing such a good job at XYZ. I get a compliment. And I could think to myself immediately, like, oh, I'm so grateful for the compliment. It's awesome. And it's just from some random listener. And that's great. Props to them. No problems for me receiving those, right? I gratefully receive those types of compliments. But if I take them too seriously, I might know, oh, I had a lot of tension during that singing part. That wasn't super healthy for my voice. I still can receive that compliment, but I don't have to receive it in a way that speaks so much to how I also know that, hey, there's ways I could have grown. There's ways that wasn't my best performance. That wasn't my best work, right? Even though I can still fully receive that compliment. I just have to take all of those compliments in with a grain of salt. I have to say, okay, who's the compliment from and how is that impacting the accuracy of the compliment and how much weight it should have in my practice, in my experience, in my growth. Does that make sense? So I'm filtering the compliments I receive, okay? Same thing goes with critiquing. Filtering the critiques that you receive is so important because if you receive a critique from someone who doesn't really matter in terms of the weight of their critique, if you have a goal that you really want to reach, let's say you do want to be a more confident speaker. Or let's say you do want to improve in your pitch abilities. You're listening and also then creating pitch when you're singing. Let's say you want to work on that because you notice that you don't sound quite in tune when you're singing, for example. So either of these scenarios, if someone comes to you, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a friend, and says, "Oh, hey, that was a really good job." Or even the opposite. "Oh, hey, that really didn't sound good at all. Like, what are you doing trying to keep getting better at this thing that you're not good at? Like, what's the point? You're not good at it, so stop trying." If you get a critique from someone that A, doesn't really have credibility in that area, or B, doesn't have your best interest and best growth in mind, that critique may not be a good fit for you to fully receive. You can say thanks for your opinion or thanks for sharing, regardless, when you express to them. But just because someone tells you something doesn't mean you have to internally receive it for yourself. I hope you know that you don't have to fully receive something from someone just because they tell it to you. What you say to them in response is your choice, but you, for yourself, don't have to fully receive that. So all I'm saying that for is that let that filter be super important. Let in critique from the right people, let in compliments from the right people, and fully receive them. And this is also why it's so crucial to have wisdom in who you choose as your vocal coach or who you choose as your mentor in whatever areas your goals are. If your goals are for health with your jaw, with TMJ issues, like mine were a few years ago, choose wisely who you listen to. Do you want to get there in the way they got there? And I've mentioned this before. Or, critique-wise, if someone is sharing information with you that maybe isn't the direction you want to go, how much does that critique impact your choices? So filter those compliments, filter those critiques, and be really mindful about who you're choosing, who that others is, to let in those compliments and critiques. I hope this makes sense. Let me know in the comments. I see a few people are watching live. Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to have you joining me today. But let me know in the comments how this has impacted you. For me, it's been a boundaries learning experience to figure out, okay, who am I going to let critiques and compliments in from? From a business perspective, whose opinion matters to me when I'm making business decisions to grow in different areas, to move in different directions. This applies to so many areas of life, and it's crucial that we learn that skill of filtering compliments and critiques, because it can either make our experience and help us make our goals and reach those milestones, or it can really break that dream and break that goal if we listen to the loud haters or if we listen to the loud people who really don't ultimately matter on our path to that goal. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Is that helpful for you? If you are like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I need to make sure that I am letting in the helpful critique of others in a way that makes sense for my growth. Maybe vocal coaching for you would look good for you in terms of working with me. If you like how I approach things, if you like the logic, but also friendly, goofy, fun way I approach topics and life and vocal health and vocal confidence, maybe this is a good fit for you. If not, that's okay too. There's so many people in the world who can help you with that. Just make sure you filter how they approach that, right? That's what's important, is being able to filter that and know, okay, that's a good fit for me, or no, that's not a good fit for me, all right? And maybe you're in a step where you're like, I need to learn more, Andrea. I like what you just said today and I need to learn more. That's what the Strength Train Your Voice group is for. I have so many vocal health and confidence trainings in there already. I have a guide section where a lot of that has been categorized. It's like a library of resources for you. Check the guide section out. If you're already in the group, I'm so glad that you are here. Make sure you check that guide section out because it's so much helpful information, so much gold. And I would hate for you to miss out on what's already there and accessed at your fingertips. So check those things out. Ask questions if you need to. That's another thing I encourage people to do. Ask lots of questions to figure out what is a good fit and which people you should let in compliments and critique and really let that impact you from. So have an awesome rest of your day. And I hope you learned something helpful from me today. Bye for now.